listening to Pod of Thunder.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to Pod of Thunder, the recognized symbol of excellence in KISS podcasting. It's your buddy, Andy, America's little brother. I'm joined by Gnarly Nick, the Garlic Dragon. Hey, Nick.
Hey.
We're joined by Chris L., the breakout star of the podcast medium. Put your hands together for him. Round of applause. Round of applause. We've got the third Jones brother. Jay
the
is
guy
here
from
today.
Intervention is in the crowd.
Mrs. Jones.
I'm back.
Hey, Jay. Welcome back.
Thank
Jay's
you.
been banned for about 300 episodes. But
I heard there's some problems on the show here with Jay and some specific members of the show, the mysterious, illustrious members.
There's heat on that couch. So we'll see how this episode goes.
It's kind of like his beloved sport of baseball. He was banned for 300 episodes for stealing signs from other podcasts.
Oh, okay.
He's done his time. He's back in the mix.
Paid my penance. I'm back, boys.
Yes.
All right, good. And over here, we know that guy.
Yes.
It's your 11th episode
Is it?
with us. I think it's 11.
Does that include the crazy nights that I don't remember a thing about? If I don't remember it, does it count as an episode or not?
It counts.
It does.
Okay, the Rock and Roll Crazy Nights Loudness one.
It
Don't
counts.
remember. I listened to it and I was like, I can't remember any of this. Not one word.
Yeah, but
Just
today,
debating what MZA means.
yeah, today you're not as
Surprisingly lucid at the
Yes.
moment.
I know, because I've been drinking nonstop. We did a classic album class earlier, and I went through a third of this bottle of vodka. But I just literally,
Vodka?
I finished wrestling at like 10:30.
Yeah.
And was here by midnight. It takes a while to come down from that adrenaline.
Oh, I
bet,
imagine.
yeah.
So maybe that's one of the reasons why. Because trust me, I'm trying to pound here. I want to get super loaded to make an ass on myself on your show because that's tradition.
That's what we want.
That's what
our
the people want to
listeners
see.
expect,
Oh, can I
yes.
just? Here's a name drop. I just got a text from Gabriel Iglesias, Fluffy.
Oh,
nice.
cool.
here.
There he is.
He
the
said,
fluffy
"Are you
guy.
doing Pod of Thunder?" Yeah. What? Go ahead. Sorry.
He didn't say that. But hey, everyone knows that voice. That's Chris Jericho. Welcome back.
Thanks,
11th
man.
time. There he is.
Wow, that's really cool. 11 times.
It's crazy, man.
and what was the first? Crazy. It was Thrills of the Night.
No, it was Turn on the Night. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Turn on the Night was the first one. Episode 174.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I remember that one, but I can't
You
remember
milked
any
the
others.
crap. You retweet that constantly.
Yes, yes.
That's got to be your highest rated episode, maybe, or
I think Thrills in the Night for some reason.
That's
The,
okay.
the second one we did. I don't know what the difference is, why that one more than the other, but that's the one.
both great.
Both great. All great. 11 great ones. This one hasn't even really started yet, but it's already
I
great.
can't remember one that I did not enjoy, to be honest with you.
Well,
No,
now,
they're all
no.
fun.
now you guys have gone through the KISS catalog and have moved on to doing other great songs and some songs that really suck bag. We won't get into that.
Well, see,
Valentine's Day.
See,
Uh-oh,
that's
see,
the
now-
thing.
now you done it.
You know,
I had to say it.
Chris Jericho, a detractor of February. So
What's it called?
February.
What is
for Lou Rawls? Tribute to Lou
February.
I missed that. Why is it February?
Because it's a tribute to Lou Rawls and artists who encapsulated his
See,
vibe.
this is what happens when guys get famous and get their heads up their own ass and forget what made them famous in the first place. People like the rock and roll, man.
But this is precisely why we're getting back to our roots
We
with
are.
our original theme song, Andy's intro of KISS podcasting. Everybody consuming this episode right now already knows the song we're going to be doing. We
Right.
actually
We don't know.
already know.
I have no idea.
Well, we know.
We'll find out.
No one tells me anything. Me and Jay are in the dark.
We'll,
also.
we'll find out. I don't know either.
I will say this, February, because I'm with you guys. I've listened to most of the episodes. When you got to the Van Hertzen brothers, whatever those guys were called,
Adreezy
and then you
Brothers.
said listen to it. I was super drunk. There's a pattern here. And I listened to about 30 minutes of the Adreezy Brothers, woke up the next morning and was going through my podcast and saw that I was almost done the Adreezy Brothers episode. Didn't remember a word. And no idea how the song
and
goes.
Then you looked at your texts from the night before and saw that you berated us for about an hour.
I was angry.
that was
I was yelling at you guys.
You were.
I apologize.
My favorite part was everybody I know is pissed at you guys.
Everybody's pissed at us.
Everybody I know.
I'm having discussions with all the Pot of Thunder armies, and everyone I know is all pissed at you.
Yep.
I take it back. Chris L's a big guy, and he's also got the vibe that he could probably kill somebody. So I apologize for that stuff.
Okay.
I find that you might have been some kind of an assassin in your former life working for Hugh Hefner. Were
I,
you Hugh Hefner's personal assassin?
I will neither confirm nor deny.
Now
that.
we know what happened to Marilyn.
If people want to have that impression of me, that's great. That works well.
That's why Danzig goes on and on between songs about Chris.
About Chris L.
But great to be back, and great to be back with Kiss.
Yes.
We found a song. Sorry, we don't know what the song is.
We do.
Okay.
I don't.
I can't believe. Why did you guys never do this one? You went through the
Well,
whole.
see, this was a point of contention back when we were doing all Kiss songs.
Yeah.
All of our listeners were like, "Well, what about this demo and what about that B-side and this and that?" And eventually we had to cut off the list. And, we just decided to keep it to all the album cuts, the solo album cuts, the studio album cuts, and then assorted the Scooby-Doo thing and the fucking K-pop thing they did.
But this was never released officially.
Because we did do Time Traveler,
But Time Traveler,
which should be in the same category.
same
wouldn't it?
category, but our little rule bending was that they released it. Kiss released it officially on their box set.
Right.
This one was not released on
Really?
anything. Yeah.
So how do you even have it?
Internet, man. It's just there.
You could have come up with a better story than that.
Internet, man.
I don't know anyone.
What I heard was that when Paul Stanley did the intro for you guys, and Gene got jealous because that's what happens. Then Gene did the intro for Pot of Thunder.
Yes.
Is that they basically said, we love this show. We don't like the fact that we have no more songs. So they did two things. One, doing a new record. Now.
Right now.
Specifically so that you guys have 10 to 12 more joints,
Yep.
as they say,
Yes.
to continue. And then they went through the vaults and found this demo that we're going to talk about and sent it specifically to you by courier. That's what I heard. That's
Yep,
what I heard.
that makes sense. It was actually Phil Myers was the courier, the guy who
was.
sent it to us.
But Jay
Thank you,
answered
Phil.
the door.
Yep.
And then literally fell asleep and forgot about it because he's like asleep now, and found it because it fell out of his pocket in between the couch cushions. And then 3 years later, went, holy shit! Look at this demo.
That's
sent to
why
me via
he
courier
hasn't
by
been
Paul
on
Gene.
for 300 episodes.
And he brought it here
And we said, okay.
to the penthouse.
Penthouse
Here in
Poppers.
Penthouse
We're
Poppers.
popping.
And now, thanks to Jay, we have a new Kiss song to officially talk about on Pot of Thunder.
And this will make you happy, Mr. Jericho. This exclusive did not come to us from one Michael Cavaccini, one of your favorite people
Oh my gosh.
in the world.
Fucking accosted me in a bathroom. He's one of those creeps that wanted to shake my hand as I had my hand on my Weenski in a urinal. No Blumpkins going on here. I'm just literally going to the bathroom during an autograph signing. This creep comes up and goes, "Hey, remember me?" I'm like, "No, who are you?" "You know who I am?" I'm like, "No, I'm Michael Cavaccini." Like, who? Michael Kakashiki. Who's Michael Chakachiki? I don't know your name. Top Out of Thunder guy. Oh, so any friend of yours is not necessarily a friend of mine, but it'll be cordial. Can I wash my hands? Can I wash the dick sauce off my hands before I shake yours? And then he wants to take a selfie in the bathroom with 100 fucking fans walking around. I'm like, dude, I can't do it because I'm going to get accosted here. I'm going to fucking...
If you take one, you got to take 100.
Yes. Right? And finally we took it.
That's
and
how I was at AEW today. It's like no pictures.
Yeah, people knew.
ALB, everyone wanted to take a picture.
Do you know?
of me.
Do you know? There were how many people sent pictures?
Like
to you?
5 or 6.
Because Andy was on during the anthem.
My hand on my heart.
And people kept sending him. They kept doing screenshots
Hey,
and
listen,
sending
you
it to
guys
him.
got a fan base. That's the thing. You have to accept that.
Yeah.
I mean, you have 300 episodes plus, right?
Yeah, 30,
maybe more now.
50 something.
So how long has it been since the last Kiss song? A year?
Like a year and a month.
Almost 60 episodes.
Yeah.
What was the last Kiss episode?
Was What's on Your Mind from the 8th
That's right.
solo album.
Yeah.
And right before that was my
Odyssey.
favorite personal Odyssey.
Yeah.
Where you guys are literally howling. There's a child in a blue dress standing on a goldfish time. And you guys are like, wow.
Talking about falconry.
Was that the falconry episode?
That was.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I listened to that one 3 times. So I can barely, great stuff.
Can we talk about Michael Cavaccini for one more second?
Please do. Bring him up.
Because I wanted to discuss this at some point and we never did. On the episode You Don't Remember, where we talked about loudness, we talked about that, and you accused me of something that I didn't do and I never would do.
Which was what?
You said that I leaked some audio of you to some wrestling website.
What?
You did. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then you started yelling it, and then I think you threw something at me. So I think you thought I was someone else for a minute. And that's how you said Michael Cavaccini got into it, because the reason it was like, hey, do you remember me? We did like the Pot of Thunder Hall of Fame thing for a while, and we put him in it. And then you said, like, this is bullshit, that I'm not in it. And some wrestling website that we have nothing to do with picked up your thing. It was like, Chris Jericho irate over Hall of Fame snub. And it was the Pot of Thunder Hall of Fame.
That's right. Then we went on. There was some specific private audio that was leaked, probably by you.
There was nothing. Like, what are you talking about? And then you, like, moved on. But I was like, just to be clear with everyone
Guys, listen,
listening.
and we've been through a lot together, including you being super drunk that you puked on the side of the highway after the Vinnie Vincent episode. That one, because we had Big Ted on for the Billy Squire, that was about a 2-hour thing. And and whatever reason, maybe I'd started drinking. I don't know. By the time we got to Loudness, I was fucking loaded. But I wanted to do some more because I like hanging out with you guys. So whatever I said or didn't say is not necessarily the thoughts of the management equaling sober Jericho by drunken Jericho. So
okay. We're all on the same page.
We are. Well, we are now.
We are now.
Although hopefully that won't last long because I'm drinking like a mofo right now.
Okay. Should we formally introduce the song in our usual fashion?
Nick, you're the guy today. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
This one comes off.
It's not anything.
It's called
Sword and Stone. It's not anything because it's unreleased.
There's a whole armada of Kiss nerds going, what album is this? Not anything. Is it from Germany? I will find this.
I mean, what do you want from me? There's no album.
That's right. So no album. Here's what I know. I don't know everything about every Kiss detail in history, but I know that this was...
And you never did. That was always the thing about your show. We don't know everything.
We don't know everything.
This is
We're
not
fans.
three sides of the coin.
Yeah,
Right.
we didn't talk to the guy who did the laundry of Paul Stanley's aunt.
By the way, they did talk to the guy who
That was Henny Youngman.
built the door, and his hand is knocking on the door on the cover of The Elder.
Wow, there you
Are
go.
you serious?
Yes.
Great.
I thought
And
that
I
was
told
Paul.
I told Paul that. He said, "Can you deliver a message to them? Get a life." It's the worst insult ever, but it's great. Paul Stanley, get a life.
Forget the haters. We've won.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Okay.
That was
if that constitutes winning, you need to go
that
back
was
to
on
the
Classic Rock
woodshed.
magazine. Yeah, we won.
Yeah.
I saw you in the lobby before, getting ice.
So this was a Crazy Nights demo that was rejected by Ron Nevison.
Great. It's okay.
So some fans, I don't even know if I want to say a lot, but you see whenever, like, if you look at the comments on the YouTube version of this, people are like, that's insane. How could this get cut from the album? So we'll be the judges today. If it should have gotten cut, maybe we can talk about what if it was on the album, what you would cut instead. But
let's talk about this. If so, this is still back in. Well, this never changed. It's Gene gets half the record, Paul gets half. They had the strange amount of songs of 11, which is very rare. But they had 11 songs on Crazy Nights. 6 were Paul, 5 were Gene. The 6 Pauls: Crazy Nights, I'll Fight Hell to Hold You, Bang Bang You, Walls Come Down, My Way. Actually, there's 7.
Turn on
Reason
the
to
Night.
Live and Turn on the Night. There's 7. All of those songs, in my opinion, are great songs. So we're going to listen to this one, and then we're going to have to decide which one should not have been on in lieu of this. But this song had a life, which I'm sure you're going to talk about. It wasn't because it was dropped from the Kiss record, didn't mean it was never fucking used again.
right, so you guys remember the Shocker episode from the movie Shocker?
Chris L wasn't here, but
Chris
we
L
remember.
was not here. Yeah, you were.
I had
That's
a-
when you were in Jamaica.
I had a particularly good time that evening.
We had fun that
Nick
night.
was on fire that night.
He was.
Go back
I was
and
an
check.
absolute jackass that night.
He doesn't have me around holding him back, and that's
Yeah.
what happens.
Intimidation. You're intimidating. I up my game whenever I see you because I don't want you to think of me as a C- star.
Oh, that's
again.
still
Still
bugging
is.
you, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I want to impress.
You want to but it
Turn his mic off for a second. I want to impress Chris L, man. Come on,
okay,
dude.
okay. Good.
Thanks.
Pot it back up.
You were
All right,
you were
here we go.
creeping up on the scale, and then the
Andy's gonna leak
loudness
that audio.
episode happened.
You didn't like loudness?
No, I'm
Nick's been
kidding.
texting about loudness all the time. Okay, great.
Oh yeah,
We could be together.
it's a great album.
I knew
I've
you'd
got
like
your
it.
real love, baby.
That's the best song on the album.
Great
I'll
tune.
say that.
Great tune.
And now this is absolute. This is not for comic effect. This is absolutely something I'm reading an article, word for word here, about this song. Former Kiss guitarist Bruce Kulick was recently interviewed by Michael Cavaccini and asked if there was a Kiss song.
Was that in the bathroom at a Comic-Con too?
He helped
Piece of shit.
He helped to write that didn't make it on an album, and if so, which song and why didn't it make the cut? Kulick responded, "A song immediately comes to mind, and the ironic thing about it is that it's a song other people covered but Kiss didn't release. It's called Sword and Stone. It was written with Desmond Child and Paul, and it was written during the Crazy Nights era. The producer, Ron Nevison, just didn't like it." And then it goes on and on, but...
That's a Desmond song too?
Sure is.
I had no idea.
Sure is.
Here's the thing, listen, we deal with this too in Fozzy. I mentioned this on the Classic Album Clash. The producer, like, we made a deal between my songwriting partner, business partner, like, if we're going to bring in this producer, he's the boss. We can argue, whatever he says goes. Maybe that's what Paul and Gene did with Ron Nevison for Crazy Nights. It's which is weird to me to think even a band like Kiss would allow the producer to say this song shouldn't make it, even though it's a great tune.
But maybe that's the only way to keep the peace at sometimes, right?
And you have to have somebody to
rein you in.
To rein you in. Yeah, somebody to atone to. Right?
Somebody to tell you no more February.
Which is me. And you know my number one rule: never let the fans dictate what you do. Well, this is different because I'm double digits. If this was a Subway card, I'd get a free episode. So I'm telling you, no more February.
Okay.
Right. Next time make it Feb Lee area and make it David Lee Roth February and just do Van Halen songs all month.
Not impossible.
Or Feb Lee area and just do Lee Kerslake songs.
Or Feb Lee Aaron and just do Metal Queen and Lee Aaron. Anything? Anyone? No Lee Aaron?
No.
Forgot you guys aren't Canadian. Lee Aaron was huge in Canada, female heavy metal singer. Watched the video for Shake It Up, red spandex pants, and lots of lips and not the ones you see on your face. Let's leave it at that. Next, okay,
camel toe, huh?
Yeah, boy.
The guy from Anvil? He was in it? Made a cameo?
Lifts his camel toe in the Lee Aaron video. Is amazing.
Wow.
Okay.
Lee Aaron.
Lee Aaron. Double A. Aaron.
Okay.
Check her. She was super hot.
All right. So the other thing we were going to say, other people covered it, right? So it's on the Shocker soundtrack, but covered by the band Bonfire. It was a German band I know nothing about, but I know they're German. I know they had some other name. Someone said that name is too German. You're Bonfire now. They said okay, and
back when the bonfire thing was happening over there in Europe.
We talked about the whale issue.
Right.
This is another bonfire issue as well.
It's been so long since we had Jay on, so it's time to confront him.
Is he on though? Is he really?
I'm bringing him on because he needs to own up to this.
Anything
you actually had the fucking Gorky Park album.
I did have the Gorky Park.
Still
what
does.
is the matter with you? Why would you buy that?
You know, I bought it for Bang. It's the only song I even
Bang was hot.
remember.
Chris J, what's your thoughts on Gorky Park Bang?
Lee Aaron right there.
Oh,
this is about 89 Lee Aaron. Super
she's
hot.
like the Canadian
Selena.
Taylor Dane.
Yeah. Except for she was a metal chick. What am I asking? What am I answering?
What were your thoughts on Gorky Park, specifically the song Bang?
Literally, not being a dick, zero thoughts because I didn't buy it.
Didn't know it.
Because it's like, if I'm going to buy a band from Russia and they're called Gorky Park, it's like, well, fuck, that's stupid. It's like, I'm going to buy a band from America and they're called New York. I'm going to buy a band from Canada and they're called Toronto, which there is a band called
there
Toronto.
Is a band,
who are amazing with two fucking chicks that sing English.
Right.
I don't need, and you know what? They look hot. I don't need fucking five dummies coming from Russia with shitty short hair, and in the 80s that mattered, wearing Sgt. Pepper outfits, singing about Gorky Park, only because they were doing a giant show in Russia and they needed some band from Russia.
Exactly.
So stick Gorky Park in there. They should have called themselves like freaking, Stolcheneka vodka.
Playing these,
they should have called themselves Vodka. I would have been all in.
Custom Kramer guitars with hammers and sickles on them. Come out of here. The fuck out of here.
I don't even know what those things.
Nonsense.
I don't even know what those things are called, but they had those like triangle shaped folk guitars, but they were
balalaikas.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, but they were actually like
let your balalaikas sing and my guitar.
Oh well.
Definitely weaves.
The Jones Brothers were into Bang, so
I'm still into Bang. I have no problem admitting
I know Bang Bang by Danger. What's Bang? How does it go?
Bang is Gorky Park, and we're not going to get into that.
You want to do another episode about Bang?
We could stay later.
I'm wide awake, brother.
All right. We should probably.
Hold on, I'm not ignoring you. I'm actually.
No.
Hold on. You guys opened up a can of worm skis. I need to hear a couple. Take my wife, please. Hum a few bars. How does that work? Whatever the joke is. A little bit sick of these Google will play after ad bullshit.
That's the lowest.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's going to Gorky Park to put up with 15 seconds of ads.
No.
If you guys,
and what ads do you feed a Gorky Park video? I mean,
Bernie
what ads
Sanders.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Propaganda ads for
and
Trump.
to their credit, Gorky Park has 3.1 million views, a lot more than I would expected.
Yeah, there's some real bored people out there.
We're just going to start with. I just want a couple.
What a start.
Hit.
Hammer
Blacksmithing going on in the background.
And an American flag. I mean, come on.
Complete garbage.
The sounds of
Stalin's Industrial Russia being represented.
Now they're doing what's it called? Rockefeller Center matching kicks. What are they called? The Rockefeller girls?
Rockettes.
See, this is music by the proletariat for the proletariat.
Please turn that off.
Don't.
Can we?
Honestly, I remember seeing this.
You're digging it.
No, I'm not. I saw this on
you
much music. I saw 3 seconds of some Anvil, not lips from Anvil, with an American flag. A bunch of guys that look like.
Sadly,
get ready to
not-
edit this out. Look like a bunch of little. And I was just like, I'm done.
There it goes.
And sadly, not Lee Aaron's lips, right?
Yes. So we're not doing Gorky Park, but we are doing Sword and Stone.
Yep.
By the way, written by Paul Stanley, Desmond Child, and Bruce Kulick.
Yes.
And this version is a demo?
There's only a demo.
Okay.
That's all.
So
there
do we
is.
know who participated in the demo? Is it all Paul or
That
what do we know?
I mean, my guess is
It's going to be very easy to figure out who's on it because I would think it's probably Bruce and Paul, and we'll know if there's a solo in the song. You'll know if it's Bruce right away because we're Bruce aficionados.
As far as drums, I have no idea.
and there's no
Drum
way in
machine.
hell that Gene's
be.
playing on this.
no,
Yeah, so it's Bruce or Paul playing
Yeah.
bass.
I don't think Gene played on anything on Crazy Nights. He sang, but I don't think he played on anything.
Isn't that crazy? It's your band.
Crazy Nights, man.
Crazy Nights. All right,
Dude, he's too busy doing Wanted Dead or Alive as a transvestite from Transylvania. Wait, the wrong movie. Anyways,
Close enough. All right, you guys ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's.
Oh yeah.
Already, I'm hearing. I'm hearing "Reason to Live"
Yeah.
very much already.
Mm-hmm.
Bass is super. That's a real bass player. So
Yeah.
that's probably, you
Yeah.
think is that Paul on bass? You think, or maybe probably Bruce? It's probably Bruce.
Probably Bruce.
I bet you it's drum machine, Paul on vocals, Bruce playing guitar and bass.
Yeah, bass is ripping already though.
Well, because Gene said, "Bruce, you know how I play bass. Just go play my part." So he's doing it like Gene would, right?
Yeah.
Gene must have been hanging out with the guys from Gorky Park for a while and picked up the accent.
You need to call yourselves Daddy Longlegs. Anyone?
Was that too Van Halen?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You need to call yourself
Terrible
John
idea.
Lynx. That's the John Lynx story.
George Lynch?
Yes. Hey, see, we got it. We're
Yeah,
on
you
here.
told that one on here before.
I've told the same stories, but 50.
The
15
vibe
times.
I'm getting so far is Burning Heart Survivor from the Rocky
Yes.
Horror Country
Wow.
soundtrack.
Yes.
With a burning heart. The vibe I'm getting is a cool riff bass tune, mid tempo, and once again, don't forget we're trying to figure out, is this song better than any of Paul's 7 tunes on Crazy Nights? So that's kind of the underlying goal.
Well, right now I can't say I agree with.
Well, we've heard 3 seconds, so
Well, but still, there's way too many of those cheesy, dated keyboards going on for me at the moment.
the demo was much heavier.
Exactly.
It kills the album
At
version.
Kiss Book that you guys always read from.
Yeah, every song that wasn't a hit. The demo was a
The
hit.
demo
and
was
the producer
great.
ruined it.
Yeah, exactly. It's all Vinnie Ponce and Ron Nevison's fault.
Yep.
That's Bruce. Tell by one note, that's Bruce. Obviously, it's a demo, but fuck, turn the fucking bass down, dude.
Oh, I know.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that was a nice little tasty Bruce Kulick lick, and we could hardly hear it. I know once again it's a demo, so we can't complain, but it's our show.
Well,
Yeah.
you should make it listenable.
And maybe that's
no
why-
wonder Ron Nevison hated it.
He probably heard it for 5 seconds and said the mix is terrible.
It's like, did you hire fucking Bootsy Collins to play on this demo? I mean, this is too
produced
much.
by Steve Harris. What the fuck is this shit?
It's too much, you know. No wonder he hated it.
Got a great Bootsy Collins story. Can I tell it to you guys?
Absolutely.
Please.
You know me, the king of the random stories. Met Bootsy at maybe it was NAMM or something, whatever. Super nice guy, 9 feet tall, giant boots, super crazy, star sunglasses. And somehow he got onto James Brown because Bootsy played with James. He said that James, I could do the voice, but I won't do it justice. But he would say that James, if you fucked up, if you hit a clam, a bad note, you were fined $50 a clam. And he said James was like a ghost or something. He would never say it on stage. If they play for an hour or 2 hours, he remembered every clam like a photographic memory. And after the show, would say, Bootsy, great job. Here's your payoff, minus $50, $50. You hit 3 clams. When? Second verse of Papa's Got a Brand New Bag. Fuck, he's right. The chorus of, it's a man's world. Like, he knew every clam of every guy in his band by memory. And you had to pay him. He said sometimes I didn't even make any money, but I couldn't deny the fact that I hit a clam.
You missed 4 notes or whatever, 5 notes. You're not getting paid.
Yeah, and I can't deny the fact that I missed the notes because he said this note.
Yeah,
that's the genius of James.
He ran a tight ship.
Yeah,
like Paul Anka, Buddy Rich, these guys.
That's just the fucking way it is.
Known for, holding their band to ridiculously high standards and calling them out on it.
But also knowing the exact place where you messed up. I find that's
exactly.
That's very genius level stuff.
Of course.
So, Bootsy was a great guy, so thank you.
It is so a Rocky montage song.
Oh, it's Burning Heart. Totally.
Yeah.
This is such a montage. Drums way better than Time Traveler.
Yeah.
Super.
The Baywatch drums from Time
Yeah.
Traveler.
Total montage. I wonder, because so Bonfire did this, and there's another one that I'll tell you that Paul Dean, the guitar player of Loverboy, also released this as a single on his solo record, which was released in Canada, which obviously Loverboy is big in Canada. So this had a little bit more life than just the Shocker soundtrack. You guys okay?
We're just communicating with eyes about
psychological shit?
Yeah.
You guys are getting ready to kick me out?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's just...
Yeah, when they do this, I just don't even pay attention.
Okay, so point being, there's some good riffage here. Production. Let's go with this with the Saint Anger microscope. We know the production sucks. Let's not mention it again.
Yeah.
Let's listen to the tune. Right. I think that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, and so far the verse has been better for me. It hasn't been a wash in keyboards, and it's a little more aggressive.
And this was Paul's peak as a vocalist. He sounds good. It's a demo. He probably took it in one take, but it's still good.
Yeah.
Gotta fight to keep your love alive. All the pain, you are the changes, and I get stronger when I'm in your life. I can take on the world, I can run through the light.
Nice.
I feel the power running through my bones. I am the soul, you are the soul.
Dude, that's great.
Yeah.
That's fucking a great chorus. Really is.
Well, it's Desmond Child.
Yeah.
know?
And Desmond and Paul, they make a great team. And just Googling the Paul Dean, the album was called Hardcore, came out May 18th, 1989. Kicking off the album, Sword and Stone, Desmond, Paul, and Bruce. So that's the first song on the record. And I remember it was a big hit in Canada. So it worked. It's a great, the chorus is there.
What do you guys think?
I can feel the power deep in my bones.
I think so.
I am the sword, you are the stone.
You are the stone. Right.
It's funny that Paul Stanley was like, let's take this English legend of the sword and the stone yeah, that's good, but let's add my dick to it. Right. Yeah, that's way better now. I'm putting my sword in your stone. Yeah, good. We did it.
That's a great euphemism, actually.
I always like to refer to my chick's pussy as stone.
Yeah, right.
The exact opposite of what you want in a pussy.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Jay, what do you got to say? Come on, man.
You don't want a stone pussy.
We've waited 300 episodes for that exact input.
I guess that's it.
Right on time.
For a cockty, you want the sword.
Sword's okay.
For the pussy, you don't want a stone.
Now, isn't it in the story?
Yeah, but sword and sponge don't really have the same ring to it. So you have to take some liberties with reality.
Sword and sponge. Are you talking about the birth control method from the early 80s of a sponge?
Well, you know,
Wasn't that Elaine's?
Elaine was
Elaine,
buying them
yeah.
out.
We don't like that.
No, do you ever deal with that? I mean, not personally, but were you ever with somebody who was using the
A couple
sponge?
IUDs, but
like
never
you're
a
actually
sponge.
jamming that thing up in there. That's horrible.
And the tip of my cocksy has to feel that
Yeah,
stuff?
exactly.
Come on. Exactly. Not good.
It's like a Mr. Clean sponge up there. It's like, no, this is not. No, I think I'd rather have a stone right now.
Can I have a Mr. Clean brand sponge, please?
Magic eraser.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's the magic eraser of my erection right now. It's like I think I'd rather have a stone at the moment.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Paul sounds great.
Yeah.
Great vocal, man.
Yeah.
That's my that's my wheelhouse of my favorite Paul Stanley sound. Like he had that from 70s. He was great, but in about 83 on the Lick It Up record to basically he didn't get that on Psycho Circus. So let's say 83 to 90
To like Unplugged.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Paul Stanley era, and he sounds so great there. I love listening to this because I've never heard it, and it's like the lost arc of Paul Stanley vocals. So
Yeah.
good shit.
What do you think?
I think I don't know what I think actually. I mean, it's got a great chorus. I'm still trying to figure out the "I am the sword, you are the stone" lyric. I mean, I know there's the obvious possible sexual euphemism. Just doesn't really make sense in the context of
But dude,
the Knights of the Round Table.
but hold on. You're talking about the Crazy Nights record. So what are we comparing this to? Bang Bang You, right? I'm gonna shoot you down with my love gun, baby.
Which,
and then,
by the way, this song would not supplant. Bang Bang You has to remain on the album.
and then Walls Come Down. You know, Hey Diddle Diddle, the Cats in the Fiddle. Like dude, like you're talking about these lyrics that he's writing. So I am the sword, you're the stone is actually much more poetic than you took your tips from a Cosmo guide, 15 ways to leave your lover. I'm gonna tell you that the author lied. I'm gonna get you, babe, under the covers. Like, come on, Sword and Stone is much more regal.
It is, but I'm still just struggling to get my head wrapped around the whole concept.
You're struggling to try and pull the sword out of the stone. Yeah,
I suppose so.
yeah, exactly.
In a metaphorical
the proverbial
sense?
stone. Yeah.
Let's continue.
I love that little dun, 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 that goes into the verse. I think that's a great little bit of just like a little riff to kind of
a nice transitional thing.
And much in the same way.
Fuck was that?
I don't know, man.
Is that Bruce
Computers.
Kulick song? Much in the same way you guys enjoy like a mama or a name check in a song.
Yeah.
I enjoy a lead in between verses before the actual lead. I always
Mini
love.
lead,
I always
yeah.
love that fucking tasty. Put down a tasty line like Battery. Like before the solo is a great fucking lead by Kirk right after the first verse. Like, that's cool for me. So Bruce is playing good. Like, it's hard to hear him because, and I said we wouldn't dwell on this, but the bass is super loud. But if you really listen, it's classic BK, man. He's a great player, and
yeah.
this
He's
was his
great.
wheelhouse of this sort of stuff.
Never make a force one. No one can stop the fire burning. Our passions wasted with the rising sun.
Got to go back. Did he say the die is cast?
He did.
What is that? Is that like
that's an erection?
Does that mean you're ready to take me?
It's
die is cast.
It's Dungeons and Dragons, man. It's like Sword and Stone.
Oh, it's like dice.
It's a 20-sided die. Just to catch you guys up, I'm going to go through these lyrics. We're in a world where just the strong survive. Day after day, your heart's in danger.
It's not dice, by the way.
You've got to fight to keep your love alive. You're the game. You're the changes. And I get stronger when I look in your eyes. I can take on the world. I can cut through the lies. This sounds like a John Parr. Naughty, naughty, loud and body.
Was he a Canadian?
John Parr?
Yeah.
I don't know. I could look that one up next. But I feel the power running through my bones. I'm the sword of the stone. I swear forever we can stand alone. Sword, stone, blah, blah, blah. Two hearts together make a force that's one. No one can stop love's fire burning. Our passions racing with the rising sun. The die is cast. The wheels are turning. Some people say that we'll get nowhere at all. Let them tear it on the world, but we ain't going to fall. So there's some stuff there.
Oh, right? There's some stuff there. That's no question.
Pretty. I mean, it's maybe overly serious. It's to the point where it's kind of boring, in my opinion.
I just looked it up. Survivor Burning Heart came out in '85. This is like a direct rip of it.
John,
the whole composition is the same.
John Paul's from Yorkshire, England, love.
Oh, okay. He strikes me as Canadian with his stupid hair.
We're all part of the K, man. He's loud and body.
Yeah, and
St.
Elmo's fire theme.
How can be a man in motion? I need some pair of wheels. Go fuck your ass.
Be a man in motion and run off. Take a long walk off a short pier, would you please? Get out of here.
That sounds like a Paul Stanley insult. Take a long walk off a short pier.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
But no, it's not dice. You know what a die is, right? Tool and die.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Right, that's what it is.
But then he said it's Dungeons and Dragons like dice.
No,
so I was asking, what is it? What?
That's not it.
It's not it. Okay.
No.
Yeah,
Dungeons
so it's like
and Dragons.
So it's blacksmith work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're forging something in iron, something that's going to last for a lifetime.
I don't see what the problem is with you guys trying to analyze the lyrics. This is Kiss in the 80s. Sword and stone makes perfect sense. I'm the sword, you're the stone.
Yes.
Right? Like, we don't need to really figure out what it means. It means Paul Stanley's conquesting a stone pussy with his sword cock. End of story.
Yeah. That's really all it is.
He's going to crack it wide open. Come hell or high water.
Nice call.
Yeah.
Pause that. Did you hear the harmony on that?
Oh yeah,
great harmony.
Oh yeah.
And listen, this is just a demo, but he's like, dude, I feel forever when I'm like, it's so good. It's so good.
And like you said, he was at the peak of his vocal powers in this era. No question.
And once again, not to the classic Jericho named, like we were talking about My Way with Paul, because I talked like your range super high, like fuck, dude. And My Way.
Oh yeah.
There's a part near the end where it's just like it's so high, and he said, "I'm not even joking. It was effortless." I'm like, really, seriously, effortless. Stay up all night with
the carols.
The carols.
It's caroling.
It's the other Lisa Hartman. Was it Lisa? Lisa, whatever her name was, the super hot blonde chick.
Lisa Hartman.
Yeah, wasn't he banging her during the Animalize era? Wasn't
he's
that
banging
the
them
story?
all. And he said I would show up and just literally like, and Paul's pretty straight shooter. He's, obviously we all have egos, but he's dude, I would just go in there and just lay it down. One take, two take the double, I'm fucking off. So this is Paul, like at the, like you said, height of his powers, effortless at this point in time.
How old is Paul here? Like 35-ish, 34,
Paul
35?
was born in 52, so
yeah.
What is this? What year is this?
If it's 87, 35.
35, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. great rhythm track behind it.
Mm-hmm.
It's and it goes, that's a great bass line.
Yeah,
that's all
one of
Bruce
those
Kulick.
chord progressions that you can just rip an epic solo
Right,
over.
and that's
It's
Bruce playing
easy
it.
to do. Of course. Instantly recognizable as Bruce.
Is this the only, not to interrupt you, Chris, hold your thought. Is this the only song that's Bruce, Desmond, and Paul?
Oh, that I wouldn't know.
I mean,
off the top of my head.
as a Kiss, like, listen, you said we never know the details. I know these details. I think this might be the only one.
Actually, now that I'm thinking of it, they had another one called "Cruisin' for the Ladies." That was,
we don't know what that means.
Yeah, Ron Nevison didn't know what that means. It was off the album. So,
yeah, dude, like, that's a rare thing. Bruce, Paul, and Desmond. So Paul and Desmond, with all the hits they had, brought Bruce in, or maybe Bruce brought a riff in, and they worked with it.
Well, there's only one way to find out for sure. We don't have to really look it up, but I just thought we'd do a throwback clip.
I like that you're throwing the little things in there.
Yeah.
I could go back to the Michael Cavaccini article. If you guys
That son of
want
a bitch.
all the answers to all our questions are in the Michael Cavaccini.
I honestly, from my knowledge, unless there's some that were on the demos or on box set, this is the first. The three of them worked together on it. And to me, too, it's like with all the success that Desmond had in 1987, not just with Kiss, but with everybody, why would you leave one of his songs off a record? Why? Nevison, why?
Yeah.
I'm putting this on Nevison.
I could see where lyrically it doesn't fit on the album.
Why?
It doesn't fit. What do you
lyrically?
Mean? Was it a concept album, Crazy Nights?
No, but it's more of a party album.
And this is
but then you got "I'll Fight Hell to Hold You" is in the same
great
wheelhouse.
Argument blown away.
Oh boy!
I'll fight hell. When friends turn to strangers, does anybody care?
Exactly.
That's one of my favorite lines ever.
All right,
what a deep line that is.
Here's a question that we haven't discussed: why couldn't you just redo it for "Hot in the Shade"? It's better than some of the songs on there. Why does it have to die with "Crazy Nights"?
And the thing is, too, and you could say, well, because other people used it, "Hide Your Heart" at that point was used by everybody.
Fucking Molly Hatchet.
Bonnie Tyler. Like, dude, come on. Maybe Paul's probably putting the blame on Nevison. He must not have liked it.
Yeah.
It's Paul Stanley. He could do what he wants, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe Paul Dean paid Paul Stanley for the rights. There's a Paul thing. I don't know.
Could be.
Maybe he paid him to throw the demo.
It's a work.
Throw the demo so I can get this.
1919 World Series.
I could
Throw the demo. Throw the demo.
I think we're onto something here.
It's a conspiracy.
Just the strong survive.
That drum roll. You knew that was coming too. It's like when the music dropped out, it's like, how are they going to bring it back in? And that was exactly.
It's funny because as
ordered.
Being Kiss, not even disciples, Kiss analysts like we are, I knew that he was going to do the double chorus. Keep it going.
Yeah.
Stop. Like, hold it longer. There's the money. There's your drum fill. Once again, don't have any complaints with this song. It's very catchy. It's very strong. Strong chorus on this.
The only way that drum fill bringing the music back in could have been better is if it was an anvil shot like in Gorky Pot's Bag. A big ringing anvil shot. One shot. Yeah, exactly. Hey, that fits right in with the whole tool and die thing.
That's
you
true.
know? Forging shit with steel.
Yeah, that's true. Forging Excalibur.
Putting stone dicks in a stone, or sword dicks in a stone.
Because at this time, Nick, correct me if I'm wrong, the Gorky Park thing was happening.
It was just about happening at this point.
So
hold on, there was never a Gorky Park thing ever.
Oh, that's where
Hold on, Jay. Was there a Gorky
was a stretch? Yeah, there was an absolute stretch.
Huh? About how long would you say that stretch went on for?
3 months.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly. And what would that mean? At the Jones Brothers house. Other than your house, where was the stretch?
It was on MTV.
We had some friends that borrowed our CDs.
Your CDs. No, we're talking about Gorky Park.
They said they borrowed our CDs.
Oh, sorry. Your Chicago accent's fucking me up. Anyways, there was never a fucking Gorky Park scene because I was in the scene, and even those guys got to play the Doc McGee Keep Me Out of Jail free card festival.
They needed some locals, ringer
Canadian content, baby. Yeah. Right.
They didn't make it to Canada.
But still, I still contend that.
Listen, I'm not anti Gorky Park. I just.
Oh, you should be, but
the stuff that I saw, which was the one video, or as the Russians say, video, was American flags and anvils, and I'm like, I don't want anvils or American flags, and I don't want these pseudo Sergeant Pepper outfits because you're Russian.
Right.
And the Scorpions don't wear frickin' Nazi outfits. They're Scorpions.
Well, only in their own time.
Yeah, well, that was Lemmy.
Yeah.
But we don't care. We want you to rock, man.
Right, and I still contend that in its finished form, the song would have been better if there were anvil shots throughout to reinforce the tool and die, forged in stone, steel vibe.
Maybe it'd be cool if Anvil.
No, nothing would be cool if Anvil was involved.
Mothra!
You're in cahoots with these guys, Lars Ulrich, guys like this.
Yes.
These accolades they lay out for Anvil, that's all horseshit, right? Slash.
Well,
it's bullshit, isn't it?
I have to be honest with you. Since Lars and I are in cahoots on Anvil, as a young Canadian rock and roll fan, heavy metal fan, Anvil was in my realm. For one record called Metal on Metal.
Right.
The reason why Anvil never made it is Anvil weren't that good. That's the
truth.
Thank you. So I think when Lars is on, and Slash, I'm not sure exactly if Slash even knew what he was doing on that. But Lars, from a thrash metal standpoint and heavy metal standpoint, in '83, Anvil did have some steam with the Metal on Metal record.
But they weren't good.
Well, that record is good. Some bands get good for one record and they're done. So they might have heard that and got some influence from it. I don't know what the Slash connection is because Slash in '83 was in high school.
He's in the movie talking them up.
I know.
Now was Ulrich the one who said something along the lines of these guys were going to take over the world? Like we all knew.
I think they were trying to help him out. Like
that's exactly what I'm getting.
But hold on. But let me say this though. For in Lars's defense, in '83 or '82, Anvil was one of those bands. Like let's fast forward. Armored Saint in '87. Everybody that was in the know said that Armored Saint's going to make it. That's the band from the Strip. Ask Brian Slagle. Everyone said, "Fuck Metallica, fuck make it." It's Armored Saint.
Right, but Armored Saint were good.
Well, they were good, but they never got to the point. If there was good hype, like Metal on Metal by Anvil is a good record.
I refuse to believe.
Have you heard it?
I tried it.
Won't
once.
listen to it.
But then you're just becoming a guy with your head up your ass. If you don't want
becoming, I've been that guy for a good long time.
But if you won't listen, if I'm telling you, listen to it once. Actually, it's not going to matter because you don't have the lineage for it. Trust me when I say.
What does that mean?
It means I can tell you to listen to it now. You go, it's fine, but you don't have 30 years of history of listening to this record.
Yeah, and you're right, and I'm prejudiced against it already.
Which is fine, but I like Anvil from that one record, but I have a few other records, and I'm like, the one before wasn't great, the one after wasn't great. That's the one. The fruit lined up, the sun was in the moon position. That record is really good. Those four guys at 22 years old created a great record, and then that was it.
All right.
So when those guys say this, especially Lars and Scotty Ian, because they're thrash guys, I don't know what Slash's gig is because Slash was listening to the Stones and Funkadelic at the time. So whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I can't wrap my head around those clowns doing anything ever good.
But also, don't forget, the reason why Anvil never made it is not because they got screwed, because they just weren't good enough.
Okay. Well, that makes.
And there's other
sense.
bands that I will tell you got screwed. Anvil's not one of them. They just weren't good enough. Sorry, Lips, if you're listening. Okay, so maybe kind of repetitive at this point.
Yeah, I mean they could have faded it out a couple verses.
Could they maybe have like flip flopped a chorus or?
I think they.
changed
Where are we
something?
at time wise in this?
3:48.
They could have faded it out by now.
Yeah.
I would think.
And maybe because it's a demo, they thought they could fix it in the mix.
Yeah, right. This is not a completed song, but
it's the chorus, and this
but
is what,
he's also flexing his vocal muscles again, like riffing out improvised vocals, stretching his limits. So he's putting that on display.
and it's also, like we said, the Desmond Child classic. Maybe Desmond had nothing to do with this song other than the chorus, because that's a Desmond chorus.
Oh, absolutely.
And maybe that's why they weren't interested in it. Maybe it just wasn't a fully formed unit.
Yeah, but you think pretty much just about every song starts out this way, and then they
Okay.
fix
We're-
it up
we're
and
gonna-
turn it into a final
We're going to
version.
go through the list to see if it was worthy. Nick?
I think what they could have done is they could have shortened the chorus, and they could have gone into a totally new part. I'm thinking lyrically something along the lines of like, "We will have the power," maybe. We will have the glory. Something like that. A totally different song just dropped right at the
If they
end.
would have brought in Guy Man Dude, things would be different.
Guy Man Dude indeed makes everything different.
Do you even know who Guy Man Dude is, Chris? You missed that episode.
I'm aware of.
He was he played on the album, and we're not sure who he is.
But he indeed makes everything different.
He does have his own Wikipedia
Was he
page.
Canadian? I forgot.
I don't know. He's on a.
Was
he
he-
has.
was he
he's-
Gee Man
he's
Dude?
not a real guy. Yeah, Gee Man Dude.
All right, we got a little bit more to go. Let's finish this one up.
He can't resist. Solo's nuts. The solo's pretty crazy, right?
Chaos right now.
It's a demo. They're just all.
And Paul's like, yeah.
It's a demo, but the performances are studio record quality.
I think at this point in time, you had Paul Stanley at the peak of his vocal abilities and Bruce Kulick at the peak of his Kiss abilities.
I don't know about that. I would say he reached his high point on Revenge.
Revenge, okay, but he was
on the rise.
He was
for sure.
comfortable in the band.
Oh sure, yeah.
Because he's doing his thing. That's all. Right.
Yeah, he wasn't doing Mark St. John anymore.
Right, exactly.
Right. Asylum was the transitional.
Exactly.
album.
This is Bruce, but I love that. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, he's letting it all hang out, just putting it all out there, trying to sell the song.
And yet when you asked him about it, he was so nonchalant about no biggie.
About which one?
When you asked Paul about the other about My Way, but still just about the about the abilities.
He wasn't nonchalant. His point was it was effortless for me at the time. He was such in great vocal shape. He could go in there and lay down these super high melody lines, and it wasn't taxing. Which I believe it. He was there range wise.
It was just like whatever.
Yeah,
I can do it.
My way. You know?
He got so good. I mean, that's an understatement of the entire run of this podcast. But like, if you listen to the first Kiss album, he's good, but he's not what he became.
Agreed. And if you listen to, I know you guys didn't cover it afterwards, but if you go to Live to Win, same thing. He's good. He went full circle. He was good. He got to his peak. He started having problems. Psycho Circus, he sounds great. But if you take the 70s era Paul where he's learning and the 90s era Paul where it's kind of past the crest, 80s era Paul, it's right there.
Yeah.
And it's
Just
great and it's ballsy and it's fucking...
Strictly based on vocals, the 80s were his prime.
And that doesn't necessarily mean non-makeup, but, you know, when you get to Unmasked is so-so. Creatures to Revenge.
Creatures. I Still Love You. In my opinion, his greatest
His
vocal
tour de
performance.
force, as they would
Absolutely.
say. And if you don't believe that, people listening, listen to I Still Love You on Unplugged.
That's a crazy one.
One of the best vocal performances of anybody in any band. Sorry, it's the truth.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that, but I prefer the Creatures version. That one gives the goosebumps every time you hear it. It's a masterful
My point is,
performance.
I agree, but he also does a great version on the Animalized tour as well.
Oh, yeah.
That was the one where you want me to sing? Check this shit out.
Oh,
Boom.
yeah. So, you know, lyrics, image of the band, all that's just strictly vocal ability.
Yes.
The 80s were clearly his.
And you know what's funny when you go see Kiss now, and I just mentioned I'm going to go see them in a couple of days in Bakersfield. We love Paul. Whatever tricks,
Paul
sticks,
is unassailable.
But now, like it's Paul Stanley, whatever. But Gene has picked up all the slack. He still sings great.
Well, I think age has fit his voice perfectly because when he was young, he was trying to get low and with that growl, and now it's like there naturally.
Paul's like Ozzy. He came up with these amazing melody lines at 20 and 30 that it's pretty hard to reproduce at 60 and 70. McCartney's the same. Dio's the same.
Most of them are.
All of them, yeah.
Halford.
And the smart one is Jagger. Mick never sang high in the Stones. And when the high parts came in, it was the chicks that sang it.
Yeah.
So he still sounds exactly the same. I'm not saying he was smart, but like Paul and Ozzy and Halford and those guys, the melody lines are so high.
Mm-hmm. Who expected to be playing in your 60s and 70s?
Nobody did.
Yeah, so
Especially
they weren't thinking that. You know, no one was thinking
Nobody
like
thought that.
Yeah.
They never thought they'd last a week.
Right.
The Beatles said, we just hope we can play till we're 24. Like, what?
Yeah.
You're 22.
Retire at 24, go get some real jobs.
That's the truth. Yeah.
Right, yeah. It's crazy.
Well, I think with Paul's voice, there was some sort of, between Killers and Creatures, there was some sort of like almost Robert Johnson-esque.
He sold his soul to Crossroads. And coincidentally, Paul in 82 was 27 years old.
Well, I'm not trying to start anything.
I don't know if that's real or not. I just made it up.
He was
but
30.
He was 30?
30.
Oh, so when was he 27?
79.
It's weird because on the Dynasty record.
Yeah. That is weird.
Sure knows something. There's the vocal melody on that is insane.
All right, we've only got a little bit more.
Take
to go.
this fucker home, Andy J.
Let's do it.
See that bass line at the end?
That
ending is
that
awesome.
was a great ending. I almost want that to have been utilized somewhere else earlier, but then I'm not sure.
But it's not. It's a demo. They would have probably trimmed that.
We were talking about the fade out, but as an end, that was some killer bass.
That was cool.
You don't want it. You wouldn't want to fade that out and not have that in there. So.
I'm at a crossroads, no pun intended. We talk about,
oh God.
The chorus is strong. Is the song strong enough to be on Crazy Nights? Because here's the thing: it's very repetitive. It needed, as they would say in Hollywood, like a script doctor to do a rewrite.
Something, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Because the chorus is strong, but it's very repetitive. Maybe that's what Nevison said. It's the same shit over and over again.
Yeah, but you know how many of the other songs come in demo form, and he's like, "Okay, I know how I can fix this." Why would he just dismiss this one outright?
Well, like I said, we could go through the list of Crazy Nights tunes and decide. Let's just take it at face value of the chorus.
Mm-hmm.
Is it better than Crazy Crazy Nights?
No.
I don't think so. You?
I would rather frame it as is it good enough to bounce Crazy Crazy?
Okay, let's do that.
The answer to that is no.
There's an easy one for me on the album. That
now,
I
can
get
we
rid of.
bounce a Gene song in favor of this?
But that's not. We're in the world where Paul and Gene are at a détente, as they would say. Gene needs 4 songs in the record.
I think that there was a session player named Guy Detente who played on this album.
Guy Detente was
Yeah.
joined up with
In
Pepe
fact,
Castro.
in fact, I think he was the crazy bass player on this.
Are you sure that wasn't Jean Beauvoir?
Guy Detente. No.
Okay,
so
so-
we're only dealing with Paul.
Okay,
So.
so Crazy Dates, we agree. Do all of us agree?
Yeah, there's no way.
I'll fight hell to hold you.
I could see this one toppling that one.
In my opinion, that's one of my favorites. I think that riff and that I love the fact that it's a heavy, really heavy song on the Kiss record, and those lyrics. Like I said, what's the fucking with strangers? When friends turn into strangers, does anybody care? And that solo in that song is a Bruce Kulick classic, for my opinion. But do you think it could supplant it?
Maybe. Yes, but we're
Okay.
only looking to replace one, so let's go down the list. Bang Bang You, absolutely.
Absolutely not.
No.
That's not.
I
That's
mean,
not going
that's,
anywhere.
That's an all-time great.
They played Bang Bang You in concert. That's how much they believed in it.
Wow, how do you not believe in that?
Right.
I mean, come on.
Okay, so then you got after that is My Way.
You can't deny the vocal performance, but the song itself is kind of schmaltzy for me.
It's because the demo, the demo is better.
My Way stays, in my opinion. You got to have that on there.
Okay.
Like I said, I love the chorus of Sword and Stone, and I know this song because not just from Bonfire, but from Paul Dean. When growing up at that time frame, Paul Dean apparently had a big record company push, heard it every day, loved it. It's not better than My Way. It's not.
No.
The chorus is great, but like in a world where the strong survive, Rocky's punching the thing.
It should have been
Doing
sold.
one-armed push-ups. Lifting up Talia Shire and Burt Young in a fucking wheelbarrow in the middle of Russia.
Burt Young.
Looking like he's gonna shit out his own colon because
And
he's
why is
stressing himself?
Burt Young in Mexico? He should be at home with the robot.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Obscure Rocky trivia. Yes, they had a robot in Rocky. So
Or he should be somewhere driving Thornton Mellon doing his job,
Lou.
throwing guys head first into a jukebox.
2 for you, and 3 for you, and 4 of these, and 5 of those, and 2 of these, and 3 of those.
Hey, Chris, you got a problem?
Yeah.
Now you do.
He fucking killed that guy. At the very least, paralyzed him.
I love
turned
how-
him into a quadriplegic.
I love how Burt Young went from the fucking shameless, spineless sycophant to the fucking murderer in Back to School.
Oh yeah, he at the very least he turned that guy into a quadriplegic.
Well, and
Jammed him head first into that jukebox.
Yeah, that's.
And then ended up in the hot tub with the scantily clad
With
co-eds.
bubbles.
And
There
didn't
you
give
go.
2 shits about it.
There you go. A hired thug. That's what he's supposed
And William
to do.
Zabka still caused his reign of terror and almost won.
Yeah.
For the 3rd movie in a row.
Right.
This fucking guy.
You should have him on your podcast.
By the way, no joke, been trying for 5 years. He's hard to get.
What the fuck is so hard? Why is he so?
It's
like,
worse
so
now
hard to
because
get?
Cobra Kai's a big hit. I was trying to get him
outta
2 years
here.
ago when no one knew who he was.
Get off your fucking high horse. Go on the show.
I agree.
Jesus
Get your
Christ.
sword out of your stone and come on talk as Jericho.
That's why
Williams
Elizabeth Shue wouldn't fuck you, because of your attitude.
My goodness.
I had such a
Clean it
crush on
up.
her, man.
Oh, who didn't?
When I went to that movie, Karate Kid, watch if you haven't seen it.
Who hasn't seen? Have you seen? You've seen it.
30 years ago, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you show it to your kids.
I saw it in the theater when I was 4.
I
you
never
haven't seen it since.
Why are you at the theater to see Karate Kid when you're 4?
Karate Kid,
a million
guy?
times.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
see,
seen it.
finally a Jones brother with some sense.
I envision your mom flicking you like a wooden nickel. Go to the movies. Take your brother with you. And Andy's there too, on your knee. Mom always told me on my knee, go to Karate Kid. And meanwhile, Jason's room's super fucking stoned, can't even move. Similar to now.
You know what? You know what movie I seem to recall going to a drive-in before. I think it was before Karate Kid. Beyond Thunderdome, I was taken to a drive-in.
Wow.
It must have been
Tina.
3 or something.
Tina Turner. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so My Way. After that is When the Walls Come Down.
That's the one.
That could be the one. Yeah,
No doubt about it.
Really?
I think so.
You know what? As a big time tune, I agree. As a fully formed tune, Walls Come Down is better.
Okay, but we're trying to anticipate what Sword and Stone would be as a fully formed song.
I would. You know what? I'm in, and I love Walls Come Down.
That's got to be the one if there is one.
Yeah, it's certainly not Reason to Live.
Hold on, because Walls Come Down had no single potential. It's an album song.
And it's such a pandering horseshit song.
And
You got your script.
And it's just Fool for the City, a generic form of Fool for the City in the chorus.
Hold on, what?
The chorus is Fool for the City.
Fool for the city.
Du-du-du-du-du.
When your walls come down.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Without the fucking pandering.
But
going on over there?
But Chris L, we know what happened.
What happened?
I've lost my audio.
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Right, let me-
Did you
let me hear
kick out my?
I didn't
Did you
move.
pull a Rich?
Kick it out.
Did you
Kick
kick out
out
the
my-
yams?
Kick it out.
There it is.
Oh.
I yanked out my own
What a
cord.
prima donna have made Andy get up and plug your rig in. It's
Hey.
like, fuck, dude. Sword and Stone has single potential, and we know this because Paul Dean released it as a single, had a hit. Bonfire put that on the Shocker soundtrack.
Yeah.
So there is single potential here, and they went with Walls Come Down over.
Walls come down. What a fucking pandering, stupid. It's a total like, pandering to women. It's like, oh, bring your walls down. Let somebody in. Be vulnerable.
Hey, Chris.
Fuck that
Hey,
whole
man.
attitude.
Chris,
Get it off.
dude, liar with your pants on fire. I know you want it. You know you want it too. Hey, diddle diddle when the cat's in the fiddle. The kitten's gonna jump in the moon. What are you talking about, Paul?
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. You don't have to convince me that
Now,
this is
I think
shit.
we've arrived at the correct answer.
I think we should get Ron Nevison on. Let's track him down, Jay. Let's get Ron Nevison on
get
the
him?
phone
Jay probably knows
and
him.
ask him why would you choose Walls over Sword and Stone, which was a distinct single that we know did really well for Paul Dean in Canada in 1989.
Ron Nevison would come on your show quicker than the fucking Cobra Kai guy. What does that tell you? It's like, who the fuck do you think you are, man? You're this smarmy villain in these 80s movies. You won't come on Chris Jericho's podcast.
Well, here's the best point.
Get the hell
I said
outta
this to my
here.
producer the other day. Listen, are you guys police fans or police respect the police?
Absolutely. Yeah.
We got Stuart Copeland,
yeah.
possibly one of the greatest drummers of all time,
Of course.
on my show with one email because we had a mutual publicist friend. I'd love to get Stuart. One email to the publicist. Next day, I'm at Sacred Grove, which is his studio in L.A. Dude, the best thing ever. I've been trying to get Dave Roth for 6 fucking years. Listen, we love Roth. I'm a Roth disciple. But in the pantheon of real world shit, is Roth that much more elusive than Stuart Copeland? No.
Shouldn't be.
Some people would say Stuart Copeland. Dude, why are some people so easy and some people are so impossibly hard?
I don't know.
Same thing with Nevison
But
and fucking William Zapka.
Well,
That's his William Zapka is his name. I never even knew his name.
William, don't call me Billy.
Yeah.
True story. Zapka.
Okay, you lost
Here we go.
you lost the love interest to Thornton Mellon's weaselly fucking son in Back to School.
Well,
and you're
because-
copping an attitude
Because he gave her a possessed car. Christine. Call back. Anyone? He was the star of Christine.
He was in that too.
Yes.
Ooh, nap.
Keith not William Napster. Keith Carradine was the star of.
That's
He was
right.
Thornton Mellon's son and the star of Christine.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so Napka is copying an attitude. This is ridiculous.
Hey, remember Napka was the one that would lift the lunch tables, and just one of the guys and all the nerds' trays was.
By the way, great call, because he did the same gig. They did every other gig, and just one of the guys.
Yeah.
It was Back to School. It was Karate Kid. Just one of the guys. By the way, when she finally revealed that she was not a guy,
not a bad deal.
Amazing tits, right?
Right.
Janos, great titskis.
I'm never even aware of that movie. I have to keep
Watch.
my
It's
eyes
so
open
good.
for
It's
it.
great 80s. She does the whole thing where she's
She's writing for a newspaper but can't get a gig. 'cause
Who's she? Who's the actress?
She was hot too. I don't remember her name.
You know what a line I remember from
look
that
it up.
movie? I think is it her brother? There's like the snotty little kid
Yeah.
who's teaching her how to be a guy, and he's like scratching his balls, and she's like, "What if my balls don't itch?" And he goes, "All balls itch."
And that guy's banging some other broad or whatever.
Yeah.
So she tries it for the football team and pretend that she's a guy, and throughout the movie, was it a football team?
No, I don't think that.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
She pretends she's a guy, and well, I'm thinking of Soul Man. She pretends she's black.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, that's Tom Howell. That's Thomas C. Howell. All right, where do we go there? All right, Hamill.
So,
Did you find it, Chris?
Yeah, I'm getting there. Yeah.
What's her name?
The one with the amazing.
They could have
tits.
combined the two. She could have pretended to be a black guy.
why not?
Soul.
They would have. They
Then
would
he-
have.
then
That
he'd
could have
be
gone even further.
One of the soul guys.
Then you'd be saying
Soul Man is super not proper for 2020.
It doesn't. It
No,
doesn't
it's
happen.
gone.
No.
Shall we say?
Didn't age
We can't
well.
say anything, but we just like see Thomas Howell's probably like, can you just ixnay that off the is a resume?
Yeah.
Joyce Heiser.
Yes, Joyce Heiser.
And you say she had great tits.
Yep, that's what we say. And
Okay.
we don't know many sex symbols named Joyce other than Joyce
Joyce
DeWitt.
DeWitt.
Yeah, boy. Google Joyce Hauser's tits.
Everyone.
Should come right up.
Yeah.
Among other things. Hey,
Are you looking, Chris?
Oh,
or
yeah.
I'm not
got an
Googling
emo
the
over
exact
Chris,
phrase.
are you ready?
but,
Are you ready to put your sword in the stone? What?
I still got to see it.
All right, so one quick thing is maybe the reason that this song didn't make the album, among whatever other reasons, is because it does kind of have a similar vibe to Reason to Live. And, like, you don't want those both on there? Like,
Yeah,
one
but
or the other?
it's kind of more rockin' than Reason to Live, though, is it not?
Yeah, it is. But it's got, like, the same tempo and bump, bump,
And listen,
bump.
I think we can all agree that Ron Nevison is a very apt producer.
Sure.
He's made amazing albums that sold 10 million copies. If he did not want this song on the record, that might be it. He's not just throwing away songs because he's a dick.
Yeah.
Something about the song said it doesn't fit. It's too similar. It's too repetitive.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why Paul, and to a lesser extent Gene, probably went, you know what, dude? You're the producer. If you feel this strongly, let's put Walls Come Down on there.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, right?
Yeah.
Because I think Nevison said, these are the singles. Crazy Nights, Reason to Live, Turn on the Night.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
And in those days, if you had the three,
You're
gives a
good.
shit about the rest.
Yep.
By the way, Joyce Heiser tits brings up a gif of that scene, and she does have pretty nice tits.
Thank
Like
you.
in the water or on the beach, if I remember.
She's standing in front of what appears to be a hedge of some sort.
It's at the prom, and
and she's ripping open
Yeah.
her tuxedo.
her
shirt.
boyfriend actually a guy that she likes is convinced that she's gay because she
Yeah.
kisses some other dude, and she's like, I'm not gay, I'm a girl. You're not a girl, you're gay. And I'm a girl, and she opens up her shirt and tisties come out.
That's the scene.
And that's the denouement.
Thank you, Google.
Thank you, Google.
All right, guys.
Oh yeah, well.
So it's time to vote. Hell or hallelujah.
Okay.
Throwback. So who wants to vote first? You know what? Who's going to do it? Who's going to be the one?
I'll do it.
Well, hold
Okay,
on.
Go ahead, Nick.
Give me 1 second, Nick. I was trying to buy some time.
Okay. You
All
know,
right.
I'm thinking about being the first one.
All right, you be the first one.
Okay. I am going to. I'll give it a hallelujah. Though I still insist that it would require a lyrical change, title change, if it was going to be on the album. I still insist that could have been an issue. I don't know. It just said in that interview, the Bruce Kulick interview, it just said Ron Nevison didn't like it. Don't know why. I just think lyrically it doesn't fit with what Kiss was up to in the 80s, even for a deep cut.
Mm-hmm.
So but aside from that, I think that the verse is pretty strong. I mean, you have Paul singing it, so it's gonna sound great,
Right.
but I think otherwise, if you had somebody else doing it, that the verse is pretty strong, chorus super strong. I love that ending. I would take that ending and
Big ending.
I would be very tempted. Is it too much to take that and have that be right after the solo or something like that? Kind of ride that, or is that too much? Who knows? That's I guess what a producer would make the call.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall I liked it. I thought the bass was pretty cool, actually, even though it was super loud. I did like
and
the
super
playing.
Bruce Kulick, right?
I did like the playing
Good
on
playing.
it. Yeah.
That was bass Kulick. That's not Gene playing that.
No, I don't think so. Gene
No,
probably
it's
never
not
heard
Gene.
this.
Yeah, Gene's never heard this song.
Yeah. Gene wouldn't
call.
stoop to appearing on a demo.
And
he didn't even appear on the goddamn albums.
Yeah, or this album. The bass playing is very good on that, by the way.
Would you care to vote?
Did you vote already?
Yeah, I give it a hallelujah.
And you voted?
No, just Nick's the first one so far.
And I'm passing it off.
Wow.
Do you
Unless
not
you
wanna
need
vote
time.
yet? Do you need time?
I can go this way.
I kind of want to wait a bit.
All right, Jay.
I'll jump in. I think with the right video, I know we keep going back to the montage thoughts, but I think with the right video, the right scene, maybe in a movie, I would have been into it a little bit more. So for me, it's going to be a hell.
Ooh.
Bam.
Wow.
There it is.
Jay's my new
Right off the
favorite
bat.
guy ever. Super laid back. Not sure if he's even awake. He might be sleep voting right now. I'm not sure. Hallelujah.
Jay's sleep voting.
Now, since Jay has done his vote, I'm gonna go. It's a weird spot for me. I know I keep harping on this, and you guys are like, shut up already. But like, literally, this song was a hit at a certain point in time. 89 in Winnipeg. Paul Dean. Blah blah blah.
How many times has he said Paul Dean?
'Cause I'm
I
trying
was
to-
thinking of Paula
I keep
Dean.
thinking Paula Dean too.
Paula Dean.
With C. Thomas Howell and Paula Dean.
Paula Dean, wife of Jonathan Cain of Journey.
Paula Dean and blackface. It's a thing.
What?
What?
That's accurate. Oh, yeah.
Soul Woman. You never saw that movie?
with P. Thomas Howell. Yeah, it's great.
It's a sequel.
So I always kind of wish that Kiss would have done this song, but going through, like we said, what album track should it beat? Walls Come Down. It's great in theory. It's not great in an overall song. It would have to have gone through a few rewrites. So I'm going to give it a. Can I give a Paul Stanley Kiss song a hell?
You can do whatever you want. That's the freedom
You're
of
like
this
you're like
show.
the devil on my shoulder, Chris L.
The devil in the deep blue sea, if you will. Lamont Dozier is going to be suing me for that.
If they could rewrite this a bit and work with it a bit, but in my opinion, when you guys say this is better than Walls Come Down, I disagree. Paul Dean did great. Sorry, Chris L. Bonfire didn't do shit with this, as far as I know.
Piss on Bonfire.
Is there a middle one where you don't want to vote for it?
No, you got to take a
No.
take a stand.
Hell.
Hell, there
Hell.
it is. Actually, you know what you could say?
I didn't know what to say. Pass the cheese?
Why didn't you play that for me beforehand? Or what is that?
I didn't think of it until just now.
Can you pass the cheese?
That's from his autobiography.
Who is that?
Paul Stanley. When he's talking about when...
He read that?
He's talking about Ace, right?
No, he's talking about
Or
Peter.
Peter.
Peter talking about how big his wiener is. And that was Paul's response. One more time. Yeah, I have a 9-inch penis. And then Paul says...
I didn't know what to say. Pass the cheese?
Is that really Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoken.
I didn't know what to say. Pass the cheese?
It's Frank Caliendo doing Paul Stanley.
Damn, man, that's funny. I hosted Tonight Show for 20 years. Paul Stanley told me to pass the cheese.
Here you go.
That was me imitating Frank Kelly into imitating Jay Leno. Thank you and good night.
Here's the other one.
I have a 9-inch dick.
That was the first part. So
He
Peter,
he sounds like a fucking ransom note. Like, I have a 9-inch dick. Pass that cheese.
I didn't know what to say. Pass the cheese.
Deliver the ransom by 5:30 at the 7-Eleven.
okay.
Frank Kelly and
Oh boy, is it my
Chris L
vote now?
or me? I don't care. You want to go? You want me to go?
Get some balls.
Just
man.
because it's my theory is that Nevison shot this down because it's such a direct rip of Burning Heart by Survivor.
But I can dig that. That's great.
Yeah, but it's then again, what's my biggest problem with Crazy Nights as a song and an album? They borrowed from Loudness the whole title and theme. So borrowing from previous material didn't seem to be an issue for them. I would like to see Walls Come Down bounced from the album in favor of this, so I will give it a hallelujah.
All right. Wow, wow, wow.
Oh, I'm going to give it a hallelujah too. How about that?
That's fast.
So much drama. Cutting the drama. Basically, I'm going to go along with maybe sort of what Nick said, but a little bit what Jay said. But Jay said he would give it a hallelujah if there was like a Rocky-esque montage that went along with it. I'm just picturing one in my head, and that's kind of making me want to push it. This song seems like it should have been on a soundtrack, and I don't mean Shocker, by Bonfire. It should have been on like some kind of athletic, you know,
Rocky IV soundtracks.
It's strange that Paul Stanley never had like a solo cut in the main theme of a movie.
I think it's because people had a problem with Kiss.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because if you're looking like, what's the original Top Gun? Mike Reno and Ann Wilson, like Heaven in Your Eyes, or Almost Paradise. Like, there's room for that shit. And they go fast forward to Armageddon. We talked about it earlier, Aerosmith. Like, this song could have been Rocky IV, and if that's too late, what was Rocky doing in '87? Was there Rocky V at the point?
Yeah, he was fighting Tommy Morrison.
That's right. That's Rocky V.
Was that Rocky?
Was Tommy Gunn,
came out.
But if it was not that time frame, there's a bunch of like fucking Vision Quest or something. I don't think they wanted to put Kiss on, because Kiss in the '80s is similar to fucking a lot of the shit that like we go through in Fozzy. Chris Jericho's a wrestler. We don't care. The band's great. Fuck them. Kiss without makeup, well, but fuck them. Like, they wouldn't give, because Paul said, like I said, like, why was Turn on the Night not a hit? Because nobody would play Kiss in 1987. Nobody. MTV did, and they got on Dial MTV and all that shit.
Sure.
But the radio stations would not play Kiss.
He's right about that.
Yeah, they wouldn't do it.
They were dominating MTV, but they were not getting the airplay.
Yeah, great, good for you guys. We want the Hooters, and we want fucking, Mr. and whatever was hot at the time. Kyrie Liaison. Sorry.
Yeah, I heard that fucking Hooters song. What was it?
All you zombies
and we
in
danced.
And we danced.
Fucking
Way
lightweight
with emotion.
horseshit.
Yeah,
What song is that?
It's
Hooters.
the Hooters.
Hooters had 3 songs. And we danced. Restless,
All You
Nervous Night,
Zombies.
and All You Zombies.
Yeah,
I don't know
but
Hooters.
You don't want to know.
I don't know them either.
Those
Uh-oh.
Hooters. You want to know the Hooters.
Man
from
down.
You want to know the Hooters from just one of the guys. That's for sure. See, he did the same thing, but he doesn't have a personal valet to reconnect his headphones.
That's what I'm here for. He wouldn't allow it.
Yeah.
Much to Chris L's chagrin.
And we danced. What
And
a
the wave
fucking,
of emotion, romance.
what a bunch
We
of
were liars in
whores.
love.
We were. That's right up there with Sweet Surrender. We were liars in love. Go grow a set of testicles, for Christ's sake.
Or in other words,
Putting that crap out.
Get some balls, man. Get some balls.
Can we get a soundbite of Mr. Pogo? They look like little.
I wish. Now we have one.
Mr. Pogo would have said that about the Hooters.
Chris L never thought he would utter the words Mr. Pogo. You got a lot of Dennis Miller in you. I never said that before. Mr. Pogo would never have said that before. Good stuff.
Has Dennis Miller ever been on your podcast?
Yes, he has.
Yeah.
And I've done his a couple times as well.
That guy's great.
By the way, super great.
Oh.
Great guy.
Absolutely.
Great guy. What a great guy. I love Dennis Miller as a guy.
All right.
So what happened?
So that's it. We don't go to the next round because there were 2 hells in there. So we're sorry.
That's just the fucking way it is.
He loves that.
You guys know I really do. I almost think like.
Have you heard that entire diatribe of his?
I have not, but I've heard the Buddy Rich ones.
Oh yeah,
that's great shit.
We gotta play him after this.
Here's
is
my
done.
question to you
Play
guys:
the whole Paul Anka.
What time do you guys work out tomorrow?
Sunday. I'm not working.
I think we should probably do another one. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah? Are you you're still rocking?
What else
and
you guys
rolling?
got to do? Your wife's already mad at you.
This is true.
Well,
I don't know if she's mad, but she's asleep. Regardless,
you're a penthouse popper.
I'm a penthouse popper.
Let's pick a good one and do one more. Because
we're liars in love.
And we danced, and I got nothing to do, and it's only 3:30. I think last time I went to 4:30. I think we got lots of vodka. All we need is Jay to get us some more ice, and we'll be ready to rock. What? Sorry.
Jay's sleeping.
Let's
Jay, you up for another one?
I'll do another one.
Let's put a wrap on this episode and put our heads together for the next one.
Okay. Well then.
Just the end of one or the beginning of a new one? Oh.